Explorers, Kid Explorer here, and today I am here, as you know, every year I'm going to run down my goals and how I did from last year, talk about what I have expected for 2024 at the beginning of every single year. So today I am going to run down how well I did on my 2023 goals, talk about what I had in store for 2024, and I'm also going to talk about some highlights from my year. So let's get into today's video. And before we do, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and a notification bell so you'll be notified when all of my videos are released. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Now let's get into today's video. Okay, Explorers, so first off, real quick, let's see how I did on my 2023 goals. So in 2023, I actually had 8 goals that I set for myself. Those 8 goals were pay off student loans, go on a European sabbatical, get a housekeeper, get some brand partnerships, make more passive income, travel slower, get more steps in, and then create a photography channel. Out of those 8, I actually got 4 of those done, which is quite impressive considering all the things that happened to me in 2023. So I was able to pay off my student loans. Thank goodness those are gone and done and out the way. Whew. I also was able to get a few different partnerships, one major one being in Perry, Georgia, and then some smaller partnerships along the way. I also did a lot more slow travel. I hope to continue that in the next year, be more mindful about my travel as I go forward. Specifically, one slow travel trip I did was 2 weeks in France in November. Whenever I would go visit my family in Cleveland, I would always spend at least a week. So things like that. And then lastly, I did create my photography channel. And if you are not aware of my channel, it is Kida the Explorer Photography. And I'll have that channel linked down below. I've had this housekeeper goal on my list every single year for like the last 3-4 years, and I still haven't gotten it done. I'm still hopeful that one day I will be able to get it done, but I really needed to focus on getting my student loans paid off, specifically because the government was stopping the pandemic pause. They were going to start charging interest again. I didn't want that. So I was like, I need to focus on this. So all of my money went towards that bucket instead of looking for a housekeeper or anything else. Now let's talk about some highlights, some happenings that happened to me in 2023. So throughout my year, I dealt with fibroids. I had surgery at the beginning of the year. I was okay for a few months, then it came back and it's been a disaster ever since. And I'm gonna start my 2024 off with having surgery again within the first quarter, unfortunately. Also, throughout the year, I took 1 road trip. I took 3 train trips. All those train trips were in France. I took 8 flight trips throughout the year. So I did get some travel in despite the health complications. Also, I was able to go see Beyonce in the Renaissance World Tour twice. I could turn on that album and listen to it from start to finish and be happy and dance. And it just felt so freeing to listen to the music, to the album. And going to the concert, everyone was happy, everyone's having a good time, and it was just so much joy going to the Renaissance World Tour. I went twice because I went here in Atlanta, and then I forgot that after the, On the Run 2 tour, that I said the next time I go see Beyonce, I'm gonna have floor seats. But it was, Ticketmaster is such trash and has horrible process of getting tickets that I forgot, because I was like, I gotta get tickets. And then it just clicked. I said I was gonna get floor seats. So I was able to find floor seats or Club Renaissance seats to go see Beyonce and had a wonderful time. Something I will never forget. Also, I know people talk about this man, but of course you're gonna be talked about when you are successful in your own way and you're happy in your own way, at least to the public. But I did get to meet Tyler Perry this year. He was a very nice person, also funny. When meeting him in person, he had some great words of wisdom to speak up in his experience of moving to Atlanta with nothing and living in his car to now be a billionaire and owning his own movie studios. Thought that was amazing. And it was an event where he was interviewing his friend Nicole Avant for her new book and her book tour, which she also had great words of wisdom as well. So being able to go to Tyler Perry Studios and actually meeting the man Tyler Perry himself was a great experience for me this year. And the last major thing, obviously we already talked about paying off my student loans because that was a major thing. But the last major thing that I would love to mention that was a great happening to me in 2023 was that I actually switched jobs, which is why I didn't do the sabbatical. So now I can mention more of this because I don't work for my prior employer. Originally, the plan was I was going to try to work with my prior employer to the fall time and then go on a sabbatical because I knew working for my prior employer was not going to be a long-term situation based on their policies and their old school frame of thought and not really wanting to change with the times. As the year started, it was starting to be more and more pressure to go back into the office, which I didn't want to do, especially with my fibroids, IBS, anxiety, all those things, driving in Atlanta rush hour to go to work, not worth it for me whatsoever. So I started the year off and was like, hey, I have to have a new job with a new employer by May. That was like what happened is soon after I created my video that I released to you all in January of 2023. So I ended up finding a new employer, permanently remote. Job is excellent. Everyone I work with is really cool, and they have a lot of different programs available where they actually have a sabbatical program. They actually have a program to help you move globally if that's something you're interested in. I'm like, okay, this is why my plan for my sabbatical didn't work out, because I'm moving to an employer that supports these things and supports your whole well-being. So far so good. It hasn't been a year yet. I started with my new employer at the end of April, but everything has been going well so far, so good. So I'm really happy about that change. Okay, so now let me tell you what is on my goal list for 2024, because like I said, we got to keep myself accountable like I did last year, and I'm going to come back at the end of the year and throughout the year and give you updates on my goals. So for 2024, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 goals written down, and this is the list I will refer to when I record my update at the end of 2024. I mentioned this on my photography channel, but I really want to start working on this photo project that I've had in my mind for months and months and months. I have not written it down, I haven't plotted out, I have did nothing about it. And so at the end of Q1 or start of Q2, I want to really start plotting out the photo project and hopefully get started on it at some point this year. The next thing I want to do, and this is not for, probably won't be for 2024 because I'm new with my employer, haven't been there full year yet. I need to decide if I want to do just a sabbatical, and if I want to do sabbatical, how long I want to do a sabbatical for, how much money I would need to save for a sabbatical, or if I want to do a move globally. And with that move, what am I doing with my house, because I don't want to sell it. So there's some things to think about when comparing those processes or those things, but I want to do one of the two. Next up, this is something else I mentioned as a goal on my photography channel, but is to really get back into working with my drone, practice flying it, practice taking photos with it. So in January, I'm going to actually sit down and look at the drone because I haven't used it in so long, to make sure the parts are still okay, to see if I need to order any parts before I go out and start flying it and practicing. So last year, I just said I wanted brand partnerships. I was able to do so. One specifically with Perry, Georgia, and some smaller partnerships with brands. But I really want to have more of those Perry, Georgia opportunities. So I want to target at least 2 of those this year. I had 1 last year, target 2, and hopefully I get more, because it is a lot of work once you go on a brand partnership of that, or going with a tourism board or something like that. I really truly hope I'm done and over with the fibroids at some point in 2024. Obviously, I can't speak for my internal body and what happens when I go to the hospital and have surgery. You never know what may happen. And if they come back, I can't control all of that. So, but I hope they're done. I hope when I have surgery again, I do not have to deal with them hopefully ever again, or at least no time soon, because having to have surgery again 1 year later is ridiculous. Okay, y'all. Like I said, I have this on my list every year. I'm gonna have it on here again. is to get a housekeeper. I would love to have a housekeeper at least once a month come in, do the dusting, do the deep cleaning, clean the floors, clean the bathrooms, so I don't have to do it. And lastly, I would love to pay down my credit card debt. I did have to use my credit card a little bit more in 2023 because I was really focused on drilling down my student loans to get rid of that payment forever before they started charging interest again. So I was like, I gotta use this card a little bit more, unfortunately. So I have more of a balance than I want to have, but I know I'll get that paid off, or at least get it extremely lower than I like, and have a regular nice monthly balance instead of not so nice monthly balance. But yeah, I hope to pay that down this year. So those are my 7 goals for 2024. And I hope that I get at least 50% of them done when I come back to you at the end of this year. Okay, explorers, so I hope you enjoyed my yearly update video where I gave you the rundown on how I did on my 2023 goals, gave you a little recap of some highlights that happened to me throughout the year, bad and good, and then lastly tell you my goals for 2024. So I want to know what goals you have in store for 2024. What are some things you would like to see here on my channel in 2024? Comment that down below. I would love to hear from you. But always make sure you keep it classy because I don't approve classy comments. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. It is free for you to do so and helps me provide more and better content to you in the future. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Make sure you share this video with your friends, family, and social media networks so they can learn a little bit more about Key to Explorer as well. And lastly, if you have not already, check out my 1 second a day video that I released the other day so you can get a sense of what happened to me every single day throughout 2023. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, night, wherever in the world you are. Bye.